What if everything you've been told about beauty, aging, and confidence after 50 has been wrong? What if the signs that you reach still a remarkably attractive older woman aren't the ones you've been taught to look for at all? Today, we're going to uncover 7 clear, research-backed indicators that you may be far more captivating than you realize, signs that millions of older women overlook every day. And by the time you understand each one, you'll see a pattern that aging science has been hinting at for decades, but never fully explained, a pattern that might change the way you see yourself from this moment forward. Before we reveal these signs, let us start with the mystery. Why do so many women over 50 underestimate their own attractiveness, even when people around them see it clearly? Behavioral studies from the University of Michigan show that self-perception shifts dramatically after midlife, especially for women who grew up in a culture that defined beauty narrowly. The irony is that while self-confidence sometimes declines, measurable social appeal often increases, but only a few know how to recognize it. To understand this strange mismatch between how older women see themselves and how others see them, we need to go back to early adulthood. Your 20s and 30s were shaped by a beauty standard almost entirely controlled by advertising, television, and appearance-driven culture. The pressure was heavy, and the expectations were unrealistic. Many habits of self-criticism were formed during these years, and research from the American Psychological Association shows that the human brain tends to hold onto those early patterns. Even as life circumstances change, then something quiet happens in the 40s. It doesn't shout, it doesn't announce itself, but it begins altering the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with people, and the way others respond to you. Studies from the Stanford Center on Longevity reveal that emotional intelligence increases significantly between ages 40 and 55, and this changes the way your presence is perceived. People start finding you more approachable, more calming, more magnetic, but because these qualities grow slowly, most women don't notice them. After 50, this shift becomes even stronger. But here's the twist: most women ignore it because they're too busy noticing physical changes. Lines, graying hair, body changes, these become the focus. Yet multiple American surveys show that men and women both report that personality, communication skills, and emotional stability become over 60% more important than physical features after age 50. That means the very things you think are aging you matter less, while the traits you've developed over a lifetime matter more. And then comes the breaking point, the moment these qualities become visible to others but remain hidden from you. It usually happens between ages 55 and 70, when confidence, clarity, and emotional steadiness reach their peak. The fallout on millions of older women don't recognize these signs and misjudge their own attractiveness. They look in the mirror and see history, while other people see depth, strength, and beauty. Many older women fall back on old advice that never worked for them even when they were younger. They try to match trends made for women 30 years younger. They worry about wrinkles instead of the health, energy, and charisma that studies show are far more attractive in later life. They believe they need to look young to be seen, when research from the University of Chicago shows that authenticity becomes one of the strongest predictors of attractiveness after age 50. Now let us reveal the signs you've been missing, starting with the one almost every older woman underestimates. The first sign is the way people listen when you speak. Good-looking older women often carry a natural authority, a calm tone shaped by decades of experience. Research from the National Institute on Aging found that communication clarity increases with age, and people respond instinctively. If strangers or younger individuals pause, make eye contact, or seem drawn into your words, it's a powerful sign of presence. And presence is one of the most underrated forms of beauty. The second sign is confidence without effort. Not loud confidence, not showy confidence, but the quiet kind, the kind that shows in how you walk into a room, how you handle stress, and how you set boundaries. Psychological studies show that self-assuredness is one of the top qualities linked with perceived attractiveness in women over 60. If you've reached the age where you no longer seek approval, you've gained a type of beauty that younger people can't imitate. The third sign is emotional stability. Younger people often mistake beauty for drama, intensity, or emotional highs. But as people age, they value peace, reliability, and emotional intelligence, and older women excel at exactly that. If you're the person friends come to for advice, if you remain composed under pressure, you're showing a trait that research consistently links with long-term attractiveness and trust. The fourth sign is simply how comfortable you are in your own skin. Studies across millions of older Americans show that life satisfaction increases after 60, and that comfort radiates outward. When someone feels grounded, self-aware, and unapologetically themselves, it becomes impossible not to notice. The fifth sign is the energy you carry, not physical energy, emotional energy. Good-looking older women tend to have a balanced, warm, or confident energy that makes people want to be around them. If strangers smile at you, chat with you, or seem to brighten in your presence, that's not random. That's attraction in its mature form. The sixth sign is your eyes. Yes, the eyes change with age, but expression becomes stronger. Neuroscientists found that people read emotional depth most accurately in older eyes. If people tell you that you have a kind face, warm eyes, or a strong gaze, it means you have a feature that age enhances, not diminishes. The seventh sign is independence. In surveys from the United States, men over 50 consistently rank independence the number one attractive trait in older women. Not appearance, not youthfulness, independence. If you know how to take care of yourself, make decisions, and live life on your own terms, you've reached a level of attractiveness that many never achieve. So, what can you do today if you're over 50? First, stop comparing yourself to your younger self. She lived her story. You're living yours now. Second, invest in health, strength, and simplicity. These amplify everything else. Third, practice presence. Slow your movements, speak with intention, and allow your experience to show. One clear warning: don't fall for the trap of chasing youth. Every study shows it lowers confidence and makes you appear less grounded. And here's the open thought: if so many older women don't recognize their own beauty, what other strengths are they overlooking? If you want to explore that in our next chapter, subscribe, because we're just getting started.